Now, I hope you guys are ready for the next segment because this is where we are going to be getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, we got Abe in Dallas, Texas. Abe, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's going on?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good. What's going on?
I filed in for adjustment of status 2019. And the following week, I received notification of receipt. And 2 weeks later, I got information from USCIS to go for my biometric on February 14th, which I did. And since then, I've not had anything from them.
February 14th of a year ago.
Sorry?
February 14th, 1 year ago.
Yeah, I went for biometric on February 14, 2019.
2019, 1 year ago. Right. And you have a work permit?
No, I've not received anything from them. I've not heard from them since then.
Did you apply for a work permit?
Yes, I applied.
Then something is obviously wrong. I don't know what it is, but obviously something has gone awry. Because you should have gotten a work permit, you should have got your advance parole, you should have gotten certainly at least your benefits, whether or not you get an interview, could be a year or 2 years. But if you're not getting your work permit, advance parole, and you've applied for it, and it's a year later, then I would say something went awry. What went awry? I don't have the foggiest idea, but we can get to the bottom of it if you want to have a consultation. So hold on 1 second. Let's go to Voodoo in Wichita, Kansas. Voodoo.
Yes, this is Voodoo.
Yeah, what's up?
Yes, sir. I have a question. I have the U.S. citizenship yesterday. I passed the test.
Great.
But I have the criminal trespass on 2017. So the officer want me to turn all the file court for him to review it.
Right.
Yes, but I'm so worried about. Do you think is the criminal trespass can affect my approval?
Yes. Well, this was in Kansas. I don't know if it's a misdemeanor or a violation. In New York, criminal trespass is a violation. It's not even a crime, but it's certainly. So I don't believe it would be a deportable offense. But again, I don't know the Kansas Penal Code off the top of my head. But let me finish. Let me just finish. But it certainly affects good moral character. And if you have to prove good moral character, if there is an arrest, that can affect it. Now, one arrest over a period of a lifetime, does that make you a person of bad moral character? I wouldn't think so. I would think that one arrest over a lifetime, I would chalk that up to having a bad day. That's what I would argue before an immigration officer. So maybe somebody would say differently, assuming that the case was dismissed. But yes, when you ask, does it affect? Absolutely.
So, but I passed the test. So I just need to, now the only thing I need to do is...
Just because you pass a test that you know U.S. government and history doesn't mean that's it for citizenship. You got to also prove good moral character. What I would suggest, Voodoo, before you submit anything to immigration, is you speak to an immigration lawyer, whether you want to speak to me or somebody in Kansas, that's up to you. But speak to an immigration lawyer about this arrest, because the last thing you want to do is submit something to immigration and then turn around and you can, be in deportation. It doesn't sound like a criminal trespass, but I don't know I don't know the Kansas Penal Code off the top of my head. So I would suggest speak to a lawyer first before you don't ever submit documentation related to criminal offenses to immigration without going through a lawyer first.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, so hold on 1 second. Let's go to Stacy in Carapolis, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
Thank you for your show.
Thank you.
Good. I want to know, my case, I got an RFIE for pay stub and a job letter to prove income from my husband.
Yes.
So my lawyer was saying that I should file my taxes and let's send in our tax papers to show the income.
Yes.
But do you think that would be sufficient, or should I still send the job letter and the pay stubs as well?
You send what they ask for, because if you don't send what they ask for, they'll use that as a reason to deny. If you want to send additional documentation on top of what they ask for, by all means do that.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Brad.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to Magdalena in Washington Heights, New York. Magdalena,
Hello,
how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I have one question. My husband came to the United States with a student visa in 2015, and he applied for asylum. He was denied. Later on, we go and apply for I-130 and I-145, and we were denied.
Because he was denied because he applied for asylum, was probably ordered deported and didn't realize.
Yeah.
Right,
and,
so you got to reopen his deportation case first.
No. He didn't have the decision for the court already, so we are in the process still in the court.
Okay. So the reason why his adjustment was denied is because he's still in removal. He's got to get the I-130 approved first, and
Yeah,
then
but we
and then ask a
went
judge
for
to adjust your status.
Yeah, but we went for our 130 interview. They denied us because they said we had some different answers.
Oh, well, that's a different story. You can't prove it's a bona fide marriage. You got a problem.
Yeah, so yes, it's like I think to refile I-130 again.
That sounds like a smart idea. No, refile it again and do a better job and be prepared better.
But my question is, I scared if we refile I-130, they go to deny us again because the previous interview?
No, you still have a right to prove it's a real marriage.
Yeah, of course.
All right, hold on. You need a good lawyer. Hold on. Let's go to Bilal in Hamilton, New Jersey. Bilal.
Hi. Brad, I have a question.
Yes.
I applied for I-751 form. It was an abusive marriage, so it almost like 2 years, and like it crossed 2 years. So I didn't anything come up from the USA. I said when I checked the status, it shows nothing on it. So when I called them, so they said your case is in VAWA unit. They have it. So even the VAWA unit, they are not answering the call. Is there any problem?
You have an why would your I-751 be in a VAWA unit?
Yeah, they said that your case is in VAWA unit.
Well, no. If you filed an I-751 to remove the conditions of your permanent residence?
Yes.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in a VAWA unit. It has nothing to do with VAWA. Even if you're claiming abuse, you're removing the conditions of your permanent residence. So it's 2 years. First of all, when you call immigration, you're speaking to an outside contractor, so I wouldn't take anything that they say seriously, where your application may be. What I would suggest you do, and this goes with a lot of people, all right? It's your life here. Your entire life is on the line of whether you get to live in America or not. And you're just filing papers and doing things and hoping for the best rather than having real professionals stand behind you and direct you into the right direction to make sure you get a green card. To me, your biggest problem is that you got nobody handling your case. That to me is your biggest problem. So hold on one second. Let's go to Rodney in Brooklyn. Rodney.
Hey, Brad, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. Doing my tax this year, I'm filing for my wife, but she doesn't have a social. How should I do it?
File a W-7 with your 1040 return, and you can request a tax identification number for her.
Okay, so we'll have to, and then file it what, jointly?
Jointly, correct.
Although she's
So you're
not
going to
working?
do correct. You're going to do a 1040, a joint application,
Right.
and she doesn't have a social. You're going to attach a W-7 for her tax identification number.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Sandy in San Diego, California. Sandy.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
I have a question. I filed an I-130 petition for my husband 6 months ago, and he's in Nigeria. I understand that they've been placed on the ban list, but what can I do to help move the application forward? Is there something that can be done to help get him over here?
Yes, elect a Democrat and get Trump out of office. That would be number one.
Okay.
Number two is perhaps don't do anything with that application because the ban doesn't go into effect for about another 2 weeks. And my guess is that there will be a lawsuit and the judge will put an injunction on it So hopefully, while that injunction is in place, the application will continue to process, and eventually you'll get a visa appointment before any court hearing or final court hearing is decided on that. That's the hope. The other option is if the ban does go into effect, the way I'm reading it right now, and we'll see how immigration handles it, but the way I'm reading the Nigerian ban right now is it's just for immigrant visas, which would be people applying for a green card at a U.S. embassy. It doesn't apply to adjustment of status here, and it doesn't apply to non-immigrant visas in another country. So perhaps, you know, a K3 visa, perhaps a K, you know, you're already married, maybe some other type of non-immigrant visa. I don't know. And then get them here and then adjust. We got to figure it out. We got to see how it all plays out first.
Okay. And then my other question is, I know, can he come over on a visitor's, like a tourist visa?
If he has it, yeah, but I doubt they'll give it to him now.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
All right.
Just,
Thank you
just
so
let's
much.
hang in there and see what happens over the next week or two, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Let's go to Kel in New York. Kel.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I have two questions.
Yeah.
One is that my son was getting his I-130 to my husband, and it seems he canceled that petition prior to him being
Your
approved.
husband canceled the petition?
It seems, because I never get a letter of approval or a receipt.
Well, did you speak to your husband? Did he do it or he didn't cancel it?
Well, we're not together anymore because then
So then I guess so
downhill
then I guess he did cancel it then if you're not together.
yes, because
do you have a green card?
No.
How are you going to deal with your immigration issue?
1 minute. I started the abusive.
All right.
spouse.
So then you would have to go through that abuse spouse application, and after you get approved, your son would be included on that, and then you'd have to transfer the file for him to follow the joint. That would be the process.
Do I have to do the counseling? I was told that I have to do the psychological evaluation. Do I still have to do it?
I have no idea anything about your case. You have to prove abuse, but it sounds like your patient is calling you. So hold on. You got to prove abuse. Okay. I don't know what abuse is. Maybe the abuse is a medical record that he broke your arm. Maybe the abuse is just emotional inside. I have no idea. Okay? I mean, what you have to do is prove extreme emotional abuse or physical abuse. Do you have to do a psychological evaluation? Maybe. I don't know. Or were you psychologically, emotionally abused? I don't know. Let's go to MJ in Greensboro. MJ.
Yes, sir. It's an honor. Thank you very much. So I'm about to apply for my naturalization, and while I was doing the application, it asked me for the Selective Service number, but the problem is I haven't got one because I didn't even know that I have to apply for it.
Okay. How old are you?
I just turned 28.
Okay. All right. So it's too late for you to do it. You know, if you knew you had to do it and you didn't do it, then you got a problem because that's not good moral character.
Okay, but I didn't know that I have to do it.
Okay.
And also,
now, generally, I'll just tell you what the general thing is. You know, the Selective Service is generally, you're told about it in high school here in America. So when 17-year-old boy, you're in high school, they tell you go apply for the Selective Service. Everybody has to do it. I don't even now. If you come from after the age of 17, or you apply for an immigrant visa abroad and then come over here, they have you sign something that says you're supposed to do it, but a lot of times you don't understand what you're signing. The first step is to go to the Selective Service website and ask them for evidence of whether or not the Selective Service sent you a letter to apply for the Selective Service. If they didn't, that would be good evidence, especially if you came from abroad and you were not legal in high school, that you didn't know that you had to do it. But that has to be your position. I didn't know I had to do it.
Okay, what if they did?
If they did, then you knew you had to do it. So then it's one of two things. Either one, you got the letter and you disregarded it and you threw it in the garbage. Then you got to wait 5 years after you can't file for your Citizenship till you're 32, which would be 5 years after the age of 26. 6 years after 31. I can't add. 5 years after the age of 26 for good moral character. Or alternatively, I just had a client about 6 months ago who told me I didn't know about it. They mailed it to me. My mother saw it. My mother thought they were drafting me in the army and she didn't want me to go get killed in Afghanistan, so she threw it in the garbage. I have no idea what the facts are. All right?
So I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and some told me I can apply on the 29th. So my main question is, can I apply right now or not on the 28th? Is there any way
my
to
answer
apply?
to you is get a good lawyer and figure out what you knew and what you didn't know, and then figure it out from there. You need 3 years good moral character marriage to a U.S. citizen. So yeah, it would be 29, not 31, if you had a bona fide marriage at 29.
So if I got a lawyer, you think there is a way to apply for the naturalization?
Magic 8 Ball. Could this man apply for his naturalization? It says I don't have the foggiest idea. What I'm telling you is get a lawyer. The only one who knows the facts is you, MJ. Did you know to apply for the Selective Service? If the answer is yes, a lawyer can't lie for you. If the answer is no, then the lawyer has to prove it. So who knows whether you knew to apply for the Selective Service other than MJ? So why would you ask me?
Okay, I didn't know, so I'm good with that.
So then good, hold on. Driving me crazy, how would I know?
Oh, man.
All right, Alam in Brooklyn, New York.
Hi.
How are you?
Mr. Brett, I'm fine, thanks. I have a question. Actually, I win my asylum in 2016, so after 1 year, I applied for adjustment of status.
Right.
So after I applied, it's been almost 31 months. So I called USCIS and they told me, it's not outside of normal processing time.
Where are you from?
Then they sent. I'm from Bangladesh.
Yeah, well, Bangladesh,
And
all the Muslim countries, they give a long time. Now you have two choices. You can just wait it out, or you can file a mandamus.
Yeah, hold on. So they wrote me a letter. They told me my background check is not complete yet. So once it's incomplete, they cannot move forward to my case.
So that's why you file a mandamus.
My question is, in this case, can I do the mandamus?
Yes. Hold on. The answer is yes. Let's go to James in Atlanta, Georgia. James.
Hello, good night.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
What's
Thanks
going on?
for taking my call.
My pleasure.
I have a quick question or a concern. I recently got my adjustment of status interview through marriage, but I'm in Georgia and it's way in Alabama, so I'm wondering if that's normal.
You're in Georgia, but your interview is in Alabama?
Yes.
I don't know how close you are to Alabama.
I think it's like 138 kilometers or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's possible that's the jurisdiction. I mean, I don't know, the geography of Alabama and Georgia and where you are, but it's possible. Go to that interview.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, because the answer is this. Immigration's federal, so just because you live in Georgia doesn't mean you have to go to the immigration service in Georgia.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. All right. Thank you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Dave in the Bronx. Dave.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Fine. Got a question. I just got married like 3 months ago, right? And then I found out that my wife, she came over here like under somebody else's name.
Right.
Could that be remedied? Could that be fixed?
Yeah, with a waiver. She made a misrepresentation. You need a waiver.
I need a waiver.
Yeah. You have to show extreme and unusual hardship to yourself. Your wife lied to the government. She said her name was Mary when it was Jane or whatever name she used. So you got to show extreme and unusual hardship to yourself that you would suffer a hardship if your wife didn't get a green card. So the answer is there's a remedy, but there's no guarantee the remedy works, but hopefully you have a good waiver.
Oh, I have to show hardship.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Right,
okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Aquila in Northridge, California. Aquila.
Hey, Brad. Thanks for picking up the call.
Yeah.
The question I have is, I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and I have this interview scheduled up on this March 4th. I'm married to her for like 2 years now.
Right.
I have all the utility bills, tax documents, everything, right? So the only problem I have is she doesn't have she's a naturalized citizen, but she has her passport, but she doesn't have the naturalized certification with her right now. Can we just take the passport to the interview?
Yeah, U.S. passport is evidence that she's a citizen. That's perfectly fine.
That's perfect. The other thing is, even though I have those documents, the bank statement and everything, I don't have much of the picture because we both don't take pictures like that, you know. I have like 20, 30 pictures. You think that would be enough for some people?
Well, 20, 30 pictures is better than 10. Better than 5.
Okay.
You bring what you bring. I mean, there's nothing, no law that says, oh my God, 30 pictures you're denied. It's the totality of everything. All right?
Right. Okay. That's all I want to know.
If you live together, you'll prove it. Don't worry about it.
Right. All right. Thank you.
All right. All right. Let's go to A Beadon. A Beadon in Houston, Texas.
Hello, Uncle Brad.
How are you
today?
Good. What's going on?
I'm good. I have 2 questions, Uncle Brad.
Yes.
So,
funny, Uncle Brad, you know?
I love that.
Yeah, it's funny. It makes me laugh now. Yeah. All right, Abadan, yes. Go ahead.
So I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
I have 3 boys. I'm a U.S. citizen, so I filed for them to get an American passport.
Yes.
So 2 of them got it.
Right.
One I did not file for because he had petty theft crime, and so
how old is he? How old is he?
He's 17. 19.
Okay, but he had a green card before he was 18.
Yes,
he was living with you before 18.
Yes, that's correct.
And you were a citizen before he was 18.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, apply for his U.S. passport too. They don't fingerprint him. He's an automatic U.S. citizen. Don't worry about whatever offense he has.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. And then the 2 that's already gotten their American passport, how do I go about getting their...
You have to file an N-600 for a certificate of citizenship.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, but go ahead with the older one too, because I'm glad he's not a mass murderer, but he could be a mass murderer. He's still a U.S. citizen.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Be well.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.